Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Let me know if audio is all good and then we'll get started here. Pretty crazy week. Trying to predict what Trump's going to do has been absolutely insane. Absolute crazy stuff here. Excited to go over a few things and, kind of give my outlook for the next week or two or three. I think that we're at, or my bad, 1 second. I think that we're at a very pivotal moment in the market. And I think there's a lot of clear charts that show us that, if the market doesn't find a bottom or at least find some upward pressure over the next week or two, I think that, there's going to be a lot of questions whether this bull trend is broken or not. And when I say bull trend, I don't necessarily mean the bull cycle, because I'm sure a lot of you guys have known that I've been under the camp that I'm not convinced that this 4-year cycle is going to be like this perfect thing again. When everybody realizes something, it no longer creates an edge. And the fact that we have so many institutional players in this market now, it wouldn't really make sense for these perfect 4-year cycles to continue. So when I speak of bull trend, that just means basically since 15K to basically 100K, referring to Bitcoin. So I'm excited to talk about, show some of those charts. But, the first thing, as usual, feel free to throw in questions. I'll keep an eye on the chat. But the first thing I want to talk about here is, what I find so interesting about what's happening behind the scenes regarding this crypto reserve. And you guys let me know in the comments too. I made this post last night and I basically said, Trump came out on a Sunday morning in the United States and said that the US would be creating a crypto strategic reserve of 3 altcoins. And, he didn't even mention Bitcoin. It wasn't until an hour later he came out and said, oh, obviously, Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be the heart of the reserve. And then obviously we saw what happened last night. It was a complete Bitcoin straight reserve. They said that they would be looking at basically delta neutral or budget neutral strategies to acquire more in the future. And then the other cryptos are essentially, they didn't even reference the ones that Trump spoke about, and said that, we wouldn't be looking to buy more of those, and we also could be selling those. So it was just a complete opposite, in my opinion, of what happened on Sunday. And to me, that just opens up so many questions. Not that it matters too much. I think what happened last night, people are so stuck in the short term. Like the fact that we have an executive order that looks at Bitcoin as digital gold and even referenced that from the White House, that's a huge step forward. I don't think anyone could try to look at that as a bearish thing. I think why the market dumped is because there was a lot of pre-positioning. So people pre-positioned under the assumption that they would come out and say, we're buying X amount of these coins or Bitcoin. And then, of course, the market would have ripped. And I said that a few times, but obviously that was not the case. So, I made this post and it's just bizarre to me how far off it seemed that he came out and said that, they would have an XRP Sol and Cardano crypto strategic reserve. And then not until an hour later, he said, oh, also Bitcoin and Ethereum will be the heart of it. So to me, I didn't want to believe it at first because there wasn't enough evidence. But to me, unless there was some crazy backlash from the industry, when I say the industry, that's people that are, believe it's Bitcoin or nothing. It just seemed like market manipulation to me. And I hate to say that. I really do hate to say that. But look what happened on Sunday. We had Cardano move 70% up. We had XRP do what, 35%. We had Sol do almost 30%. And then obviously all those gains were completely gone. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't want to make some drastic, conclusion. But to me, that's clear market manipulation. Like if you're going to come out and name 3 coins, not even mention Bitcoin, and then 4 days later sign an executive order that just talks about Bitcoin. Absolutely bizarre. So, everyone can speculate. I just wanted to bring it up because I really think it's funny. I think it's really funny because the other thing I posted just, an hour or two ago, let's see what it was, that, Bitcoin pumped 12% on that news of the XRP Sol and Cardano crypto reserve. It wasn't even until an hour and 20 minutes later that he came out and said Bitcoin. And look at how positively Bitcoin reacted. And then last night, we have this executive order come out and Bitcoin dumps almost 7%. To me, that is just absolutely crazy. Funny times. And if you guys didn't see earlier, let me see if I can go into my replies here. Donald, he said it's hilarious how every time there is a bit of blowback, this admin comes out with the shittiest excuses. And he's right, because look at what David Sachs' response was. It was that they only mention those because they're top 5 cryptocurrencies. Well, then why didn't they mention BNB? And then why didn't he initially mention Bitcoin at first and then Ethereum? So just completely something happened, and it's just really funny to me. I wanted to reference it because there's a lot of stuff we don't know, and there's a lot of speculation, but to me, super crazy. Then one other thing is, it looks like Brad and obviously has been super involved in the administration. And right when David Sachs came out and said this, on Sunday, look at what he said. He said, appreciate the crypto president's vision of a government representative of the industry. And he was talking about how Bitcoin maximalism is the enemy of the industry. And then he said he was glad to see how they're recognizing we're in a multi-chain world. So right here, this proves something changed between Sunday and now, because Brad's been silent. Look, Brad has been completely silent. I don't think he's made any posts. Yeah, March 5th. He hasn't made any posts. So something obviously changed, and I find it pretty interesting. So not that it matters too much, it's just, for a lot of my close followers and obviously myself, the market is what I'm into almost all day, every day. So I want to dissect every little part of it. And to me, this is just super interesting. And then one other thing is this was on Sunday. David Sachs came out and said they're announcing a crypto strategic reserve consisting of Bitcoin and other top cryptos. So once again, completely not what happened last night. So let me know in the comments, guys, what do you guys think happened? Because to me, something obviously happened, and it's pretty crazy to me that there would be this much misunderstanding or miscommunication behind the scenes, because obviously I think what Trump's doing and what the administration's doing is arguably very good. And I think that the people that are in charge have a lot more, experience, at least business experience, for how you should run a country. And I know that's probably going to be taken with backlash, but we all have our own opinions. So to me, for them to be this like wishy-washy about something like crypto doesn't really add up. It's very, very bizarre to me. So yeah, let's see if you guys had anything to say. Does news really matter if the macro factors aren't aligned? I don't believe so, and I'm going to talk about that here. I'm going to 100% talk about that here. Jay said Trump was facilitating shorts and longs to Barron. It's not far off after what we saw happen, I feel like the messaging gave mixed signals between the announcement and the actual EO. Yeah, complete mixed signals, without a doubt. Are you going to make a video after the meeting? I don't believe so. At this point, I don't see that meeting having anything crazy new information. Would love to be wrong, and honestly, trying to predict what Trump's going to do here or his admin has been a complete futile pursuit. So, who am I to even guess what's going to happen there? Taking into account Trump as a hype man, yeah. Does anyone notice Bitcoin, XRP, Ondo, and Apex falling the NAS? Yeah, as I've spoke about for months, guys, crypto is very tied in with the NASDAQ, and I'm going to talk about that a lot here tonight or today. So Trump didn't look too happy, felt like he was told something else, and last minute things changed. I agree. That video was bizarre. He's like, oh, you believe in this, right? And then he's like, this is what I promised, right? So absolute funny stuff. I feel like Trump is doing what the Sun say. I would agree there, Catch, but at the same time, they have their World Liberty Finance that are holding millions of dollars of altcoins. So you would think they'd try to get, any type of altcoin in that reserve or something different. Brad cannot pardon himself. You think we see new all-time highs in the next few months? I'm going to talk about that here. I just wanted to preface with these things because to me, this is bizarre. I mean, it's really, really bizarre, and I'd love to see some more information. And what the most bizarre is what Brad said. What Brad said really proves something changed. And I think that the Bitcoin maxis 100% got to them. That's the only explanation, in my opinion. And either way, to me, I could care less. I think even though we had this happen is mega bullish. And This right here is a seasoned trader. He was an ex market maker. I think he still is a market maker, quant fund founder, really an OG on CT. And he came out with his first post in about a month and a half. And he essentially said that he believes that the market wants to squeeze up. And the reason why is because he says that he's one of the largest perp market makers, which I believe, and they've been seeing a weird dynamic, leaving them pretty net long, which is that no matter if price goes up or if price goes down, people continue to short, which I kind of feel very similar that, the entire timeline or the sentiment, at least my curated timeline, everyone's been bearish. And I mean super bearish. Like people totally have been extra bearish, and it's bizarre. It's like we have, things we could have dreamed about happening the last 5 years. We had complete hostility towards crypto. And now we have complete, embracing of crypto, even though they didn't come out and say they're buying, market buying these coins, doesn't matter. The fact that they talked about Bitcoin in an executive order and said it's digital gold, that's huge. That is huge. And as we know, guys, something that's bullish for Bitcoin is bullish for the entire market. So, we can't sit here if you guys are holding altcoins and you guys are upset about what happened here. At the end of the day, if Bitcoin goes to 150K, altcoins are going to follow. Sure, many of them probably won't do the best, but, I don't see any scenario where Bitcoin is flying and other coins are not going along with it. So I wanted to bring this up here because it's super interesting that he's claiming that, and like I said, this guy, he's a very, very seasoned person. And he's saying that no matter what's happening, people keep shorting, which is pretty interesting to me. And he made up a really good point that I was going to make regardless, is said he expects price to follow narrative. And this is the key point that he made right here. If price goes up, Trump's actions are now bullish and more buyers pile in. So I hope you guys understand what he's trying to say there. What he's trying to say is when this market does turn around, there's now going to be so much more fuel behind that trend, if that makes sense. Because now it's like if we see Bitcoin start rallying to 100, 105, everyone now in the back of their minds would be like, oh, wait, the United States has a crypto reserve. The SEC is creating regulation. And it's like all of these things that have been happening that the market hasn't cared about, they will care about that on the next bull trend. On the next strong trend upwards, we're going to see people that are going to put that in the back of their mind now as for more reasons to hop on that trend. So if I'll give a prediction, when Bitcoin in the market does finally turn around and create whether it's a 1 to 2 week or a multi-month uptrend, I think it's going to be a very strong one, because now we're going to have this tailwind of all of this narrative that, we see what happens. It's like, oh, Bitcoin's back at 110K. What are all the headlines going to be? They're going to be that the government now owns, and it will never sell their Bitcoin. It'll be that the government now thinks that Bitcoin is digital gold. So it's very, very positive, in my opinion. We just need to wait and see when the market does obviously turn itself around, which I'm going to talk more about here. Catch up with the chat here. Having the EO along with the Genius Act and the Loomis Bitcoin Act all give different takes going to the same goal. I agree. It's the same end goal, but different ways to get there. This admin is very reactive to how news lands. The XRP Sol 88 tweet caught everyone off guard. So where did it come from and why? Hopefully today will tell us what we need to know. I completely agree. I completely agree with you there. Hopefully we will get more explanation. But, the fact that he already said, oh, those are just top 5 cryptos, maybe that's all they're going to say about it. Also have to consider how many people didn't even know about crypto other than Bitcoin. All the buzz is going to bring a lot of new money. I agree there, Dan. It's not an immediate effect because there was so much pre-positioning in anticipation of a announcement that exceeded expectations. And that positioning just had to get unwind. So that's what we saw the last, 12 hours. Really thought the Ripple lawsuit would have got settled or dismissed today. I think it's happening soon, but, as for guessing when, who really knows? I thought this week was going to be the deciding week for the trend. I believe it will be 100% there, Justin. Today's Friday, and I think by the end of this weekend, and for clarity, I said this week or next because the market does need to digest. I think it's going to be pretty clear what happens over the next few next few weeks or months, which I'm going to talk about here very shortly. Feels like the price is down, but indicators are up. The whole news has had a bullish divergence. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's up for discussion at least. Spot CVD up, perp CVD down, just a matter of time. Yeah, we'll take a look at that as well. I got some people in my life asking me questions all because of the buzz. That's good, you know, it's definitely a good thing. And like I said, guys, we can't spin this in a bearish way. This is mega bullish for Bitcoin long term and crypto in general. Like, I know it's a cliche and like simple thing to say, but it really is. Like, you can't spin this in any other way. Thoughts on some elements of the ICO coming back? Really don't have any thoughts on that. People can't handle not doing anything with their portfolio. It's the hardest thing to do. Yeah, it totally is there, Ethan, without a doubt. So yeah, the next thing here I wanted to cover, and yeah, we got the crypto summit here in about an hour. It's gonna be interesting if we have a live stream or anything that comes out of that. But yeah, so now shifting gears into some more technical things here, guys. If you guys saw this post that I made, this was 2 days ago, and was it 2 days ago? No, it was yesterday actually. I basically said, is Trump running the same playbook as last term? And if you guys see here, you know, this is a pretty powerful chart right here. This is when Trump took office in 2017. Right away, we had the dollar currency index dropping. We had US oil dropping. We had the NASDAQ 100 pumping. We had crypto going on its craziest bull run in history. And why this is interesting is because when you have a weaker dollar and when bonds start dropping, so those are the yields, like the 5 and 10-year yield and the 2-year yield, that's bullish for risk on assets. It's just not always an immediate effect. So essentially, I said, if this trend continues like it did last term, this is the exact fuel that the markets need for a liquidity-driven blow-off top. And why this is interesting here, guys, is because interest rates, and sorry if I'm losing some of you, but the ones that might understand will probably find this very useful. The difference now is we have interest rates from the Fed very high, very, very high. You know, they're at 4%. You know, this bull run, they were at 2% or 1% below. 2021, they were at 0. So, you know, I put in a very good analogy here, which is that it's like a fire has started, which that fire has been that the NASDAQ and stocks and Bitcoin have went up the last 2 years, but they haven't even used their fuel for the fire. It's like, you know, you're on the woods and you create a you create a fire, and it's like you brought gas just in case you needed to start it, but you never even needed to use it. And that's kind of what I see like we're at right now. You know, in my honest opinion, and it's not even in my opinion, it's just looking back at history. So this is interesting because if the markets can hold themselves up and the Fed starts dropping the rates, that is going to be fuel that just adds to the fire. It's like they already have a fire going. And fire is not the best way to look at it, but it's true. The markets have been fine. You know, Bitcoin's up hundreds of % since they started, raising rates. And when they start dropping rates, that is bullish for markets. That's bullish for the stock market. That's bullish for crypto. That's bullish for Bitcoin. So I think it's very interesting now that we have the dollar dropping, we have oil dropping. The only things we don't have right now is crypto and the stocks going up. They're going pretty much sideways and a little bit down. So if the Fed comes out this month and drops rates, or even, you know, the next Fed meeting, I really think that this is not a bad macro picture. It's like, the best way I could put it is we've inched our way up with like weights on our back. And those weights can be taken off. That just allowed this market to go crazy. You know, a blow off tops type style crazy. And I'm talking about stocks as well. Hopefully that makes sense there, guys. I wanted to bring that up. And the other thing is, you know, inflation here on this Trueflation, it completely tanked. And for any of you guys wondering, inflation's the main metric that the Fed likes to use to whether they're going to drop their rates or not. So the fact that we now see that, you know, look at the max, look at this is when the rates were rising, rates, and then inflation started going down here with rates high. And then here, look at, inflation just dropped off a complete cliff here. So once again, that is just something that I think is going to be bullish. And don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean it's going to be bullish tomorrow or next week. But over the next 6 months, this is shaping up to actually be a pretty good thing. It's like if the Fed drops its rates, the dollar keeps going down. Those are historically mega bullish things for crypto. So just something to keep in mind. I wanted to throw it up there. So shifting gears here just a bit, this whole crypto market cap is essentially back testing the March 2024 high and the 2021 cycle high when looked at on a monthly chart. So I said this is very clear on a monthly chart, and it adds to the idea that acceptance below these monthly lows would break the bull market, or rather I should say the bull trend. And I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that and why I think that this is still a very pivotal thing. Like I said the last week till now, I said we're in a very pivotal moment. My honest opinion, it's a very pivotal moment where this market needs to get itself together. Stocks need to find a bottom, and I think that we're good for another leg. If not, it really opens up the questions of a lot more different things. So once I dive into charts here, you guys will see what I mean. See if you guys had anything else to say here in the chat here. Gotta sit on those hands. Yep, absolutely. Well, depending on depending on your time horizon, absolutely. So the crypto capital world is just a way to seize crypto with no path forward to purchase in a budget neutral way. That's bearish. I don't think that's bearish at all, Joey, because, what did Bitcoin do the last 2 years? It went from 15K to 100. When did it do that? It did that when there was constant threats of 200,000 Bitcoin being sold. It did that when there was constant threats of all agencies against crypto companies. And, the fact that now we don't have any of those overhangs, I don't think that's bearish at all. I don't look at that as bearish without a doubt. But yeah, so this total crypto market cap here is a very clear chart. And I guess I'll dive right into that now with what I was looking at here. I think it's a pretty clear line in the sand, should I say. I'm sure if, any of you guys watching that look at charts yourself, pretty clear break and retest, wouldn't you say? I don't think there's much to really, debate about this. This is a very clear high here. If we ignore the wicks, which I sometimes even like to take the wicks off just to give us a good idea of what's happening here. Look at that. It's pretty clear that was a high. Pretty clear that was also a perfect high. And then it's pretty clear that we broke that high. And it's also pretty clear that we're trying to retest that high as support. So my thesis stands pretty simple. In a bull market, or rather in a bull trend, you never come back and lose a prior resistance level. Does that make sense here, guys? It's like this simple. You're going upstairs, and if your goal is to get to the top of the staircase, are you ever going to take a step back down to the previous stair? No, that doesn't make any sense. If you're going up the stairs, you're going to go up the stairs. You're going to take a step, and each stair that comes, you're going to continue to go. So that's how I look at this right now with total. We've staircased our way up, and we can look at this as the step, and we can look at this as the foot reaching that previous step. For us to lose that previous step breaks the trend of you going to the top of the staircase. So I hope that's a good analogy for you guys that, in my honest opinion, that's right now is about 8%. If total comes down and loses this level and has acceptance below, preferably would be a monthly close below, even a weekly close. That to me opens up a whole different scenario. And I'm giving that a 40% chance right now. Rather probably a 35. I'm 65% under the impression this is going to hold and 35% under the impression that this might break, if that gives you guys anything. I'm just as of what I'm seeing right now, and I'm going to continue to expand on that. So yeah, that's really my simplest view that I can make right now about where we're at in the market, because you guys know how I approach it. Very simple. I don't want to overcomplicate things. And, the other thing to add in before we move on is the yearly rolling VWAP. You guys saw me post about this. The yearly rolling VWAP, this green line, is historically the most perfect bull market band you could ask for. We never accepted below that during 2017 run. Never accepted below that during 2021 run. And yet again, this right here is when the bull market, we could say, started, because otherwise we were still in a bear market. We never accepted below that since then. See these perfect wicks? See these perfect wicks? If we go on a 2-week chart or even something higher, there was no acceptance below that. It was just a fake out. So same concept right now. It's like that is perfectly in line with this retest level. So I'm sure you guys probably see my thesis here now, where it's like when you have high time frame levels this clean, is it pretty easy to say if we lose that, a bull trend would be broken? Yeah, without a doubt. And, on top of that is even just a simple trend line. Let's draw a simple trend line right here. Look at that. So now we have 3 pieces of confluence. Right, everyone watching, let me know if this makes sense to you and if this is a very simple way to approach what's happening right now. We have 3 pieces of confluence. We have, March 2024 highs on the monthly chart. We have 2021 highs on the monthly chart. We have the yearly rolling VWAP, which is historically been a perfect bull market band. Then we also have a multi-year uptrend. We have a 600-day uptrend. Look where they all coincide. Pretty simple stuff here. So yeah, let me know, guys. Any questions about that? Feel free to throw them in, and then we'll move on here shortly. Textbook, yep, absolutely. Hey guys, give Dom a like. We were at 107 here, only 28 likes. Yeah, guys, only 31 likes. Would appreciate if you guys hit that like button. Only helps the algorithm for me. But yeah, other than that, the next thing I wanted to look at here before we moved on to Bitcoin, a few other coins, was the NASDAQ 100. So, and for any of you guys watching this, I know I know I mainly post about crypto, but I know the times where other things matter, and I think right now is one of those times where the stock market does matter. So if we see here, the NASDAQ is back at its yearly rolling VWAP as well. See this blue line right here? Historically speaking, you don't want to lose that. Look at this, 700 days that we've been above that. So, we're hanging on the edge right there. And something that's been bullish is, look, Bitcoin has actually held its lows while the stock market has went lower. Bitcoin in the purple, see it's had higher lows. Stock market's had lower lows. So to me, that's not a bad thing to see. What this might be like is that, the crypto is waiting for the stock market to find its footing because it's at major bounce levels. See, we just wicked below that. And the fact that the Bitcoin is not following perfectly, I find that to potentially be strength. Of course, there's an argument that it's lagging. But considering this has been happening for a week now, to me, that's strength. And that's saying that crypto is just waiting for the green light from stocks to start its bounce higher. And of course, I'm going to go nitty gritty about, the levels that I think need to happen here. Yeah, and then the other thing I wanted to show here is I put the federal funds rate on here, and I see some people worried about a potential, year-long correction like this. Because look what happened when we lost that blue line. Now we're right at that blue line right now. My response to that is this correction, in my opinion, and once again, this is the same bear market with Bitcoin. Put that up. Look, perfect same bear market with Bitcoin. I mean, perfectly aligned. There's really no way to say that that's not perfectly aligned. That was because of the Fed raising rates. This right here is the Fed fund rate. Went from 0, right here. See that? Bam. 0 all the way up to 5 technically. And, that's perfectly aligned, perfectly inverse to the Fed rate. So why that I don't think something like that is going to happen here is because the Fed rates are actually on their way down. So it's the opposite here. This is bullish for crypto. This is bullish for stocks. See what happened when the Fed dropped its rates to 0? Stocks went crazy. So, you could see that inverse effect. Rates going down, the stock market going up. Rates going up, the stock market going down. Now, rates going down, and we expect more rate cuts to happen over the next 6 months. That's the complete opposite picture of expecting a 1.5-year bear market right here. So that's what I wanted to say about this. Let me know if that makes sense to you guys. Hopefully you find this of value because I like to look at the big picture, and I think this is important right now. The other thing here is the Russell 2000. You guys have seen me talk about this, and you guys have seen me, give very simple outlook here is, crypto's really only seen a strong bull trend, or should I say an alt season, when the Russell 2000 was in price discovery. So you guys see right here, The candles, this is the Russell 2K making a new high. This is the Russell 2K in price discovery. Look at what crypto did. Absolutely parabolic, right? Absolutely parabolic. So then let's go to last cycle. This right here is the Russell 2K. This is its previous high. Right? See when the Russell 2K broke its previous high? Went parabolic. What did crypto do? The exact same thing. I know we got a lot of stuff on here, but hopefully you guys can see what I'm talking about here. See this pink line here? This is crypto. Went absolutely parabolic perfectly with the Russell 2000 breaking out into price discovery. Okay? So look at what's happening right now. The Russell 2K did not break into a new all-time high. There's no new all-time high here. And where's it at right now? It's at a high time frame support level. So that's also perfectly aligns with the NASDAQ I was just showing you on its large support trend. It perfectly aligns with total being on its very large support trend. So I'm sure that this all, this picture should be coming together for you guys. This is all lining up perfectly that this is a make it or break it. And I'm leaning that it's gonna hold. And I'm fine being wrong here because this is a very hard market to predict, in my opinion. This is the most confusing market I've seen since I started in the space in 2017. So if you guys are confused, you guys feel down, sentiment's crazy, you're not alone. Like, this is a very bizarre market, and don't get me wrong, like that's factual. This is a very, very bizarre market. So we have the Russell 2K here at this support level. Pretty simple to see that this is a large support level. See the 3 rejections over the course of, a year and a half. We're right back down there. So for a bounce to come in here regardless, I'm expecting it. For a bounce to come in here on the NASDAQ, I'm expecting it. And for a bounce to come in here on the total crypto market cap, we've already seen it, and I'm expecting some follow through if the stocks do that. So that's my rant about things that aren't, fully crypto related. But as you guys see, there's so much correlation. You can't really ignore that type of stuff. You got to find that correlation and really just run with it. So hope you guys enjoy that. Hope I didn't lose any of you guys because I find it of value. And, there's so much confluence here that it's a pretty clear thing. It's not like we're really guessing about the levels and this and that. Like, we're at them. The levels are at them. And what we do know is we have one more piece of fuel, one more power move, which is the Fed dropping rates. So I hope that all makes sense to you guys. The last thing I'm going to cover here on the macro side is the dollar and why I find this to be a very, very interesting thing that we're seeing right now. So let's see if I still have the script. Yep, perfect. So I built this script a few days ago. And what this script does is it basically plots the percentage change of each candle. So in this sense right now, it's a weekly candle. And let me get these boxes out of here so you guys can see them more clearly. We can see that when was the last time that we saw a decline like this in the dollar? Right here. You guys know what this was? This was the FTX crash. This was November 7th, 2022. The absolute bottom of Bitcoin, which is bizarre. Like, this kicked off our entire bull run, if you look at it that way, right? When was the previous time? The COVID crash. Also, a complete cycle bottom, cycle low. That is bizarre. Like, you guys probably have to agree, like, that is bizarre. It's not like I'm like, cherry picking data here. You guys can see it right for yourself. The only time we've had a decline below the 3% level, was the FTX low. That was a cycle low. And then was the COVID low. That was also the previous cycle low. So if we put total up over here, and, I put this on a log chart and drop it a little bit lower, you guys are going to find this really interesting here. Really, really interesting here. So if I could just get this a little bit cleaner here. Okay, so look, you guys see this right here, that this was that large drop. That right there was the COVID low. See, March 2020. See the dollar right here? Dollar starts to decline. That creates a 2020 bull run. Same thing right here. That right there was the FTX crash. That was when Bitcoin hit 15,500 or whatever. Right there. See what happens after? Dollar, starts downtrending, uptrend. So we're getting that same decline, but the market's at highs. Okay, so this ties back into what I said about how it's like the market staircased its way up with weights on its back, and the weights being high rates in a high dollar. So now we have that fuel that has not even came into this fire yet, which is the dollar coming down heavy, and which is the rates starting to come down as well. So this is what I'm going to continue to be monitoring because I can't say it more simple. The last time we've seen a decline like this in the dollar, it marked both cycle lows, but we're at cycle highs right now. So you guys see the argument here for there being a massive like shift of liquidity to kind of just propel us into a very strong blow off top, you know? So yeah, hopefully that makes sense, guys. I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here, but I'm sure you guys enjoy it. I'm definitely sure you guys enjoy it there. Economics, yeah, really good analysis. Appreciate that. Like the correlation. Definitely. Mike says I like that. Me too. You know, I definitely like that. In a few years, when I'm watching the crypto summit as Dom is next to the president of the United States, I'm telling my kids I knew it along. Yeah, 21 there. Look at the pattern that's being made in the bottom between peaks and lows, like surges. That's exactly right there, Dan. I don't know if you're referencing what I'm thinking about, but essentially, when these surges came, that was what triggered a complete downtrend and then a complete uptrend in the risk on assets. The surge happened here, downtrend, uptrend in the risk on assets. So we're getting it again. What are we going to see? A parabolic straight and the dollar continuing to fall. It's bullish all along, bullish all along. So, all right, guys, a little bit of a tangent there, but I think a valuable tangent for the least. So yeah, okay. The next thing I wanted to look at here, let me take a quick look. I have a little list here so I don't get off track. Equals total 2 and total 3. So I just wanted to mention it. What I find interesting here is total has put in a new low. We talked about this on the last stream. And I said how if this holds, it's a bullish signal, which it did turn out to be a bullish signal. We had the bounce. We had the perfect bounce. So my thesis there ended up playing out perfect. It was that total was making a new low. It was that total 2 was not making a new low. And then it was total 3 made a higher low. So total 2 made an equal low. Total made a lower low. Total 3 made a higher low. I don't have everything pulled up today, so I can't really, share it with you guys easily. But I gave you guys a lot of pieces of evidence that this has marked reversal points in the market. So if this continues to hold, this still shapes up to be a great bounce area and a great bottom. I just wanted to quickly mention that real quick. So, all right, the next thing here is Bitcoin. Let's take a look here at Bitcoin. Just going back to kind of what I talked about, the last stream as well, is that we have a perfect bull market band here. And I know you guys will like this one as well because, I like the simple analysis. I mean, I do very detailed analysis with order books, order flow, VWAPs, whatnot. But I like to present it in a simple way. I like to present it in a simple way. So this green line here is the early rolling VWAP. Sure, you guys can see that green line. That was our perfect bull market band. Right when we lost that, bear market started. Same thing right here. Perfect bull market band, perfect bull market band. Right when we lost that green line, bear market started. Same concept right here. And look at how perfect that August low was, right there. It's at 75K right now. So I think that the most we want to see, which also lines up with total, pretty much lines up with total, Bitcoin should not go below 75K. And I don't think it's going to in the short-term future. I don't believe so. And I'm fine being wrong. I'm a trader. I'm able to play both sides. But with everything I just presented to you guys, with the Fed still having all of its tools, its toolbox, I just don't think it's going to happen in the short term. And I could be completely wrong, and as I've said, I think this is a very pivotal moment for me to even share any type of bias. It's hard for me to do so because there's times I have strong bias. Like right here, I was pretty confident the market was dropping. You guys saw that I posted the video about it. And obviously that played out. Right here, I was very confident the market was about to explode. But right here, I don't have a strong conviction because I'm sure you guys can see, well, we're under 2 levels, we're under 2 major, or we're in between 2 massive levels to where if Bitcoin regains the election VWAP, and it regains the quarterly VWAP, Bitcoin will gun to new highs. I'll say that very clearly. If Bitcoin could regain basically this level, it's about the 95K level, and it's not just a quick, fake out. If we can regain that, you want to be long positioned on that retest. If we get a clean one, any retest, the retest might come on to the election VWAP, the retest might come on to the 95K level. You probably want to be positioned. I'll put it to you that clearly. You probably want to be positioned, and I will 100% be positioned. Bitcoin will rally to new highs. I'm pretty strong under my thesis of that. And the reason why is because there's been a pattern this entire bull run. And what has the pattern been? It's been that we deviate lows before going higher. So you guys see that wick right there? That was a deviation trap. Trap sellers. Market moved higher, right? Same thing right here. We have a perfect low. Market deviated below. Moved higher, right? Similar thing right here. It wasn't as strong, but even with a wick, we could say right here, if we pull this support line up a little bit more, that wick deviated our lows, put up, pushed higher. Absolute clear as can be. Once again, exact same thing happened here. We had perfect lows, price broke down, deviated above, push higher. Yet again, our summer consolidation. Perfect amount of lows, massive wick deviation, reclaim of the range, retest of the range, completely moved higher. So you guys see what I mean here by that would be mega bullish. I hope that makes sense to you guys what I mean by how that would be mega bullish in my opinion. It's because look, we have perfect lows of 2 months. We now have that deviation. If market can regain this level, it's going to push higher. That is a very, very simple piece of analysis. So that's really my thought on Bitcoin is we're in this tight ass range right now. And, unless equities completely fall themselves out, I think all we're going to maybe get is another low like that and then a grind up. I think we could just grind ourselves up like this. I really think so. I think that we can grind ourselves up like this with clear invalidations otherwise. With clear invalidations otherwise. So yeah, it feels like some of the biggest coming. If we have done this all without a pro crypto country, I can't imagine it not being bullish. Yeah, you're absolutely right there. Without a doubt. Love the visual data. Thanks, Dan. Is that DXY% change script available? No, it's not. Maybe I'll post it. Maybe I could post it for you guys. I'm the man when it comes to good TA. Appreciate that, HJ. Al may not cut interest rates just yet. He may not, but there's definitely cuts coming this year. Al does have pressure from Trump having to drop rates. We will see. I think it's going to happen. I definitely think it's going to happen. Here with unemployment data, Dom is right. We have the runway this year for bull trend continuation. I think we do, and I think I laid it out to you guys. What are we at? We're almost at 50 minutes in the stream. I probably took 30 minutes to lay out that idea because of how powerful I found it to be. So hopefully you guys find value in that without a doubt. Beware of the ideas of March. I'm not sure what you mean there, but let me know. Yeah, so moving on here. What else did I have? The TPO chart. I wanted to take a look here at the TPO chart for Bitcoin. So you guys probably remember this chart here. Basically, why I like to use this chart is because I was emphasizing the void of liquidity that we had, right? And what's happening here is the market's trying to fill in that void, which is a pretty positive thing. And under the same assumption of what I said, if Bitcoin regains the point of control here in the election VWAP and the quarterly VWAP, this is your time that the bull trend is going to continue. So I'll say that with confidence. Bitcoin regains 95K with vengeance. It's not just a little wick. Bull trend, in my opinion, is continuing. And I think that it's going to be a great thing. So I just want to quickly touch on that. The other thing here was the perp premium. So on to what Huss was saying earlier. What's happening here is people keep shorting the hell out of Bitcoin. No matter if it's going up high, if it's going down, people keep shorting. So what that does is that potentially leads to a short squeeze. And not just like a 1 minute short squeeze, a more grinding up price action where all those short sellers get taken out. And And why I wanted to bring this up here is because you guys see me talk about the Coinbase premium a lot, I'm sure. Let's just drag this on top of price so we can look at it cleaner. You know, you can see when this is super high, mega bullish for crypto. Now look at this. Right when this turned positive, we were at 74K. Bam. We got ourselves up to 108K with a very positive premium, right? Look what happened right when this turned negative. Bitcoin ranged. Then this turned positive here for whatever reason. I'm not even totally sure. And then turned heavily negative, and Bitcoin, you know, obviously fell itself down. So this right here just proves the concept that, yes, there is a lot of shorting going on, and essentially spot is trading at a premium to perps. So that means that there's more perp selling. There's more perp selling than spot selling, so to say, and there's more spot buying than perp buying, if that makes sense to you guys. And it doesn't, you can't draw too much from it besides the fact that we're in a healthy area. It's not like the market's overheated or anything like that. And then same thing here with the Coinbase premium. You know, this has been negative now for, this has been negative for 10 days. So if we can see a positive tilt on that, might give the market some breath. So I'll continue to be monitoring that as well. So yeah, I really only had like 2 other things to go over here, guys. Let me know any questions. You know, as usual, feel free to ask me any questions here about whatever I'm saying here. And yeah, the next thing here was Bitcoin dominance. I think Bitcoin dominance here is ready for a move. You could just tell by this price action. This thing's ready for a move here. It's super ready for a move. And obviously, trying to predict when this is going to stop or fall, you know, it's been a futile pursuit. I think that the best thing we could do is just kind of look at trends and, you know, just play a clear structure break of a trend. You can see it's a perfect uptrend right now. I know all of you guys, you know, let me know if you guys have thoughts on Bitcoin dominance. Everyone tries to predict, you know, this, that, the other. But at the end of the day, you know, it still is looking bullish, unfortunately. For alts, unfortunately for alts, it's still looking bullish. So I don't have too many thoughts on this besides we need to wait for a structure break. You know, I've been under that impression now for a long time, and hopefully you guys now found the value in that. You know, I talked about even when I first started the streams in January, I emphasized the idea of not trying to pick tops and bottoms and waiting for structure to break in this type of environment. And since then, most altcoins are down like 50%. So hopefully that helps some of you guys, or at least showed you the environment you should be in. And you shouldn't be, you know, complete just bottom catchers in this type of environment. And then same thing here with Bitcoin dominance. You know, trying to catch a bottom on it or trying to predict lows and tops. It's like, you can't do that until we get a clear structure break. You know, but we can't do that until we get a clear structure break. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. The last thing here, or 2 other things. I'm gonna go over Ethereum very quickly because there's not much to look at on Ethereum, unfortunately. And then we're going to look at XRP. And then maybe if we have some extra time, maybe I'll take some, you know, just a few ticker requests if you guys want to see some. So Ethereum, you guys have seen, I've been vocally, you know, I've criticized Ethereum for years. For years and years and years and years. You know, some of you guys don't know me from back then because I really only started on X last year heavy. But I vocally was against Ethereum for years. So let me see if I could find what would be the easiest way for me to find this. I think I know who I commented on. Zeke. Let me just look real quick here. See if we could find this good, because this is a good one here. That kind of showed. Oh yeah, right here. So I posted this October 27th, 2023. You know, this was you know, almost 2 years ago. I said, let us not ignore the fact that the number of wallets holding over 1,000 Ethereum continue to plummet. I said, whales don't want it. Look at that chart there, guys. You know, crazy. So if you guys want to look at this data, go to coinmetrics.io. Super cool data. And on the flip side, you know, what happened on the flip side? Well, what happened is we saw XRP, which has been the best performer of large caps this cycle besides Sol, you know, was getting accumulated straight up. Look at this. Look at this here. You know, over 1,000 XRP, just vertical, absolute vertical, 22% growth in wallets since April 2023. So a super powerful thing there. And only reason I'm bringing this up is because people said, was the Ethereum underperformance predictable? It was. That's why my position in Sol was 5 times more than Ethereum. That's why my position in XRP 2 years ago was about 10 to 20 times larger than Ethereum. I still hold Ethereum, but it's now about 3% of my portfolio. And look, if you guys missed this, look at this. From a year ago, Bitcoin 35%, Ethereum down 40%. That is crazy to me. XRP up 300%. Sol pretty much flat, BNB up 39%. So just had to show that stuff there. Because I like when stuff plays out cleanly, So yeah, with Ethereum, I'll keep it here short because I'm sure many of you guys probably don't care too much. Maybe some of you guys do care about Ethereum. But to me, I don't care about it right now because it looks terrible. It really looks terrible. And when people say, well, you're missing the bottom. I don't care if I'm missing the bottom. This to me looks really bad. This looks really bad to me. In August of last year, I showed this trend line. I said, we're breaking this trend line. There might be a collapse. We broke the trend line. It dropped 33%. We popped back up and perfectly retested the trend line as resistance. You guys probably know what a break and retest is, right? Sure, you guys know how clean break and retests are. Break and retests are the cleanest things that happen in crypto in high time frame. Super simple, super powerful. So what's happening here is Ethereum is now under its entire bull market trend as well. 1,000-day trend line. We accepted below, right? The last thing here is all of these VWAPs from our previous high. See all these VWAPs from our previous high here, guys? Look at that. Price is now accepting below those. So my honest opinion on Ethereum is pretty simple. This thing needs to get itself back above these VWAP lines at about 2,400 within 1 to 2 weeks, or it's cooked. I don't know if that just means Ethereum. Who knows? There might just be some news that comes out about Ethereum that makes it plummet. But to me, this chart does not look good. Like it's even characterizing the rounded sell-off. And you guys know the rounded sell-off, right? We've talked about the rounded sell-off. It's something I taught back in my groups back in 2019 and 2020. Is not what you want to see. What you want to see on a move down is something just like this. You want to see it be quick and fierce. You don't want to see a staircase down like this. That is not good at all. So I'm going to be honest here, guys. Ethereum's got like 1 to 2 weeks, in my opinion, to save itself. Or it's going to $1,500. This is my target for Ethereum. Look at that. I mean, that's really my target for Ethereum. Bam. And then at that point, I mean, what's the bull case? I mean, sure, you could say there's a bull case, but it's not going to play out for 6 months to a year. So that's all I got to say about Ethereum, guys. Like, if Ethereum was the only coin in crypto, I'd be pretty bearish on crypto. Should I say that? Because this chart looks bad. And I don't think anyone could really deny that. This chart just does not look the best. And it's got, I think, 1 to 2 weeks to save itself. It can save itself, but it's got to do it very soon. It's got to do it very soon. We got to see a strong pump up here very soon. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Looks like we got 100 people in here, 55 likes. If you guys haven't subscribed, feel free to do so. I'm doing these once a week. And also hit the like button. Just helps the algo push this out. So appreciate it, guys. Can't wait to off-road my first XRP. Got a bottle to celebrate. Yep, totally. But yeah, so other than that, guys, I guess we're just going to cover XRP and then take a quick look at the order books and then wrap this thing up. Looks like the crypto summit is starting in 5 minutes. So who knows? Maybe we'll get some news. I'm not too optimistic about that because at the end of the day, we don't even need news anymore, guys. What we need is we need people to start buying. We need bids. We need the market's at this point where it's like it ordered a buffet, but it's only getting served little tiny dishes, and each time it gets that little dish, it gets mad, gets upset, and that's not a good place to be in the market. you don't want the market to be needy. So yeah, XRP. XRP here is obviously still one of the strongest looking coins. And as we can see, the last few days I've been doing some analysis on it. I basically said we needed to regain those VWAP bands. Have not done that. We did that last night, but then obviously the news shot us down. And then more so, we need to regain the all-time high VWAP. So as of right now, this is just a range. Just a range, chop people up, just a range. If XRP gets above 270, I think that that's going to be the start of the next leg up. It's probably pretty premature for me to say that. I need to see what the order books look like. I know that they're still clean until $3. I'm going to show you guys that here in about 5-10 minutes. But XRP is simple. It's still a very strong coin. And I'm going to look at some of the custom denominations you guys, I'm sure you guys love. XRP has been super strong against the rest of the market. So obviously I'm still holding my XRP and I feel good about it. So far, at least, right now I feel good. It's been holding up good. It's been holding up very, very good. But yeah, so 270, that's what we need to regain. This all-time high VWAP right here, this 270 level, previous high of the December range. We need to get ourselves above that, and the sky looks very clean. Very clear for tests of 3, 315, 320. And then otherwise, it's still that 220 level. Anything under that 220 level spills trouble. And of course, as of the structure right now, I don't believe that we're gonna break this, this weekend or next week. I don't believe so, because if we do, that pushes us out many months for the whole market. If XRP, now the strongest coin, is going to break its $2 level, that's Bitcoin probably under its bull market band. That's total under the retest level, and that spills trouble, guys. And that I'd be looking for a $1.50 target. So I'll obviously be more reactive. If we get down here and just nothing's happening, I'll probably look to short, because that's a trader I am. I'd probably look to short if we see weakness down here. But right now, there's no activity for me to be involved. This is complete mid-range here, guys. If I pull the volume profile a little bit farther out, we can see that this is still complete mid-range here. Point of control, highest volume area. We're still just trading middle of the range. So I'm interested. Really, if we get back above here, I might look for a swing scalp to 270. But more so, above 270, I'm looking for a much larger trade. Under 220, I'd be looking for shorts, but right now we can't entertain that because we're not there. So very quick view on XRP, and I'm going to show you guys my favorite chart now. My favorite chart here on XRP now is XRP US oil. And let me go to the chart that I made, because it's just a beautiful chart. Let's see here. XRP US oil. Where are we at here? And I know a lot of you guys have asked, why do you look at US oil? Why are you pairing XRP with US oil? Most people have asked me that. Guys, the point's not to pair it with, US oil. The point is to get a perspective that no one else is looking at. So when you pair something like oil that's been around for hundreds of years, that has a pretty stable meaning in the economy, you're going to see things that the rest of the market isn't. And to prove my point on that, look at Bitcoin versus US oil back in our summer consolidation. For all of you guys watching this right now, the 110 people in here, I'm sure you guys know charts. Let me know in the comments. Any of you guys that do your own TA, tell me. This consolidation here, that looked pretty bullish, right? Wouldn't you say that this looked pretty bullish and this was pretty obviously resolving upwards? Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, to me, this was the cleanest chart you can get, right? This is Bitcoin versus US oil, right? So throughout that summer consolidation when everyone was freaking out, if you were looking at Bitcoin US oil the entire time, you knew that this was resolving upwards. Like, there was no question, at least me. I mean, I saw this and I'm like, not a shot. I know structures. And this was not a bearish structure. So then, if we go look at what everybody else was looking at, that now is a way different view, right? I'm sure you guys can see the difference here now. US oil, regular Bitcoin. To me, this was a much more, it was still a bullish structure, but this was a much more questionable structure, especially when we were down here. So I hope that answers your guys' question about why I like to look at US oil. It's historically given us a clearer view that no one else in this market's looking at. Let me reemphasize that, guys. If you guys are in this market, you can't be looking at what everybody else is and expect to have an edge. You can't do that. You got to find your own edge by looking at things nobody else looks at. So that's why I have this list of 40 things where I'm pairing Bitcoin or XRP and Bitcoin against Nvidia, against US oil, against the VIX, coffee, corn even. So back to the chart. This to me is a very bullish chart. Like this to me is giving us that same view that Bitcoin versus US oil was giving us in the summer. And that view was, this looks like a bullish structure. And for all you guys in here that do your own analysis, I'm sure you guys can agree. Does this look like a bearish structure? I don't think so. You don't go to highs and just go sideways for 2 months. Usually that's not how tops are put in, especially on XRP. So let me drill that home a little bit more. Top put in very quick, gave you about a day or two to sell, right? Here is the 2017 top. Top put in very quick, gave you literally a day or two to sell. Right now, this is giving you months to sell? So that's the way I'm looking at this. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. I'm sure it does, but hopefully that makes sense to you guys. This to me is a very clean chart. Look where we just bounced. We bounced off the top third of the range. Just bounced off the middle of the range, and I'm looking at this very simple. This looks like a break and retest as well, especially in some of these other custom denominations. So when XRP gets itself back above this third of the range, I'm bullish, super bullish. And it's not like I'm not bullish now, but that's when I get vocally and actively bullish with my own positioning. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Not to go on too much of a tangent here about these custom denominations, but they're really strong. They're very, very strong. And I'm not going to go through everything. Besides, we'll take a look at XRP Ethereum. XRP Ethereum here is just, such a strong coin, or such a strong pair. And I made a post about this, got almost 1,000 likes. You guys loved it. Look here. So I'll just go live over this, and then we'll start to wrap up here with the order books. Appreciate everyone who's been watching so far. So we can see here, this gray zone right here. Resistance. This is back in 2016. Resistance. Break this gray zone, then break these two lines. Went parabolic, 280%, crazy, right? Came back down, retested as support. Same concept though. Right when it broke the two lines, bam, went crazy. Same concept. Broke and retested the two lines, went crazy again, right? Acted as support, acted as resistance. So now fast forward 2 years. Sorry, more than that. 1,500 days. What is that? We're looking at almost 5 years here, guys. 5 years. And look where we're at right now. You guys see what I mean here? Look what we're butting up against. Those two lines. And I'm sure you guys saw what happened the last times that, over the last 10 years that we broke those two lines. XRP went crazy against Ethereum, which obviously that means Ethereum tanks and XRP stays steady. That means Ethereum and XRP go up, but XRP outperforms it. Or it means XRP goes up and everything else stays flat. That's what's going to happen here if this breaks. So it's all up to bulls. All up to bulls right now. Well-versed live stream. Hopefully you guys learn something as usual. Some education first. I want you guys to teach your guys self how to do these type of things. Those are my views right now. So we'll wrap up here with the order book. So starting with XRP, we have a very bullish order book right here. See if we can go to the 30-minute chart. What, can you guys still hear me fine? Audio lagging. Looks like everything's good on my end. Can you guys hear me fine now? Let me know. A little choppy. Interesting. I'm not sure if that's on your end. Everything seems fine on my end. There's no drop frames or anything. I don't know if it was something with YouTube, but everything on my end looks completely fine. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Yeah, just let me know, guys, if something happens there. Streaming is pretty hard, actually, to get everything working. It took me like 2 days to get everything actually working. Yeah, so just to wrap up here, guys, on a good note, XRP's order books are still very, very skewed with the bulls. Like, bulls are very, very eager to get their orders filled. You guys see all these orders down here, and then you see how this order book still aired to $3. You see how it seems pretty clear to me that there's a lot more people that want to buy XRP in this range than want to sell it. So as my post the last few days, this is still a straight environment for bulls to push us to $3. If bears want to come in, they're going to be met with some bulls. We'll tell you that. There's some bulls waiting down here. So the order books overall, they look bullish. But as you guys know, order books only show us the environment where we're in, and they're very useful to find resistance zones and support zones. Okay? So right now, the order books are favorable to the bulls. Does that mean bulls will take the opportunity? We don't know. We obviously need to see bulls follow through. But what it does show is, this also, if you guys are in my Telegram group, this was such a good thing right here, right now. I basically posted that night before. I was like, bulls can push this so high up so easy. That was a Saturday night. And sorry about that. That's my alert that XRP was moving up 3%. But, if you guys wonder how bulls did this so quick, look at the order book. You see how it was completely air? Nothing. No lines. See all these lines? Nothing. So bulls had a very easy time. We're in a pretty similar concept right here. So bulls want to step up this weekend. They can send us right back to $3. They could really do it. And on the flip side, in the case of a bearish breakdown, there is a lot of support. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And yeah, it's a good view. Similar thing here with Bitcoin. Not as bullish by any means, but as we can see here, there's a lot of people willing to buy down here. Let's see. About 2,000 Bitcoin willing to buy down to about 75K, which is our bull market band. So in the event that we get this low, which I don't think it's going to happen this weekend, personally. I think if anything, we're going to chop or go higher. There are bulls waiting around. On the upside, there's about 1.4 Bitcoin to get us back to 1.4 thousand Bitcoin to get us back to 100K, which that's not much at all. So once again, the order book on Bitcoin, favorable to the bulls as well. Ethereum is actually also pretty favorable to the bulls. So can you guys see here how, we have these orders down here, down to about 1,800. And then you see how there's nothing up here? Look, 300 Ethereum, absolutely nothing, complete air. Ethereum could rocket itself right back to 2,700. All it needs is bulls to step up with market buying. So the consensus here is that the order books are favorable to the bulls as we speak. That's my analysis on the top 3 order books. It is very favorable to bulls. And even if we look at skews here, which you guys know I love skews, they've worked so well. I mean, for some of my consistent followers, I'm sure you guys know these skews down here, these things work like they work like a charm. Very, very, very positive. And all it's looking at is how many more orders are above us or below us, meaning buying or selling. And look what happened. See how negatively skewed? See how negatively skewed the order book was? See all these sell orders up here? Ethereum dropped 50%, right? See how positively skewed these orders were down here? Ethereum pumps 50% or pumps about 85%, right? Same concept right here. See how negatively skewed the order book was? Ethereum drops 40%. And then once again, we're back at that positive skew. So that gives me optimism that if bulls step up here, it is way more favorite for them to push us back to 2,800 than it is for bears to push us down to 1,800, 1,500. So overall, these are bullish order books. And I just showed you guys almost 2 years of history that shows that these are bullish order books. We could even go farther back. See right here? See how we had positive skew? Ethereum runs from 2K to 4K, 100% move. So it's so simple here. Skews get negative, it drops 50%. Skews get positive, it pumps 100%. You know, skews get negative, drops 50%. Skews are now positive again. Hopefully we can look for a, 100% pump, or at least a 50% pump. So yeah, guys, that's brilliant. Yeah, it's super brilliant. Orderbook skews is the name of the indicator. Yeah, it is. Yep, I made that myself, actually. There's a few others, but I wanted to, I like making my own indicators here. So if you look up Orderbook skew on Trading Light, Trader View, that's me. You guys can add it yourself. Super useful thing. Super useful thing. Uniquely clear analysis. Thank you. Appreciate that, Dougie. Yeah, it's powerful stuff. I mean, if you guys were unaware, that's what helped me predict Bitcoin's fall 2 weeks ago. You know, you guys know I was super vocal that we had negatively skewed dangerous levels of the order book, and of course Bitcoin dropped 20%. So it worked perfect. And then same thing with XRP. You know, before I wrap up here, same thing with XRP. Look what happened when the skew got really positive. You know, we had our nice bounce. Same thing. Skew was really positive. Nice bounce up. Skew really negative. You know, XRP drops 50%. Skew got very positive right here. Pushed 30% up. Skew's very negative up here. Dropped 50%. Skew's got very negative on our pump on Sunday. Dropped 25%. And once again, Skew's got positive down here. Another rise up. So, order book is really it's the end all be all, guys. It's really the most powerful thing I've ever learned in TA, in crypto. And it's not even TA. It's literally looking at the mechanics of the market. So I hope you guys enjoy that stuff. So yeah, guys, I think that might be it for me. I don't know if there was anything else. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Let's see. I think the only thing I'll cover here, and thanks for sticking around, guys. Looks like we had about 110 people staying here throughout the entire hour and 20 minutes. So as always, much appreciated there, guys. Yeah, well, let me know if you guys have any of your last questions. You know, anything about my, about me or about the market. You know, let me know. I'll stick around for another 5-10 minutes. Yeah, let me see. I made a good post here. Been posting way too much recently. I can't even find what I post. Let's see here. Let's see here, guys, and then I'll take a look at the chat. Just give me a second. I don't know when I posted this. It was just kind of my thoughts. It should be coming up here soon. Oh yeah, right here. So right here. So I said if there was ever a moment that the market screamed it was deliberately trying to shake you out for the next leg, it's right now. And once again, guys, this is TA aside. You know, let me put my analysis aside and just tell you how I feel. You know, how I feel in what my psychology and emotions are right now. That's what prompted me to make this post. I said this price action feels engineered to exhaust sentiment, which it even exhausted me the last few weeks, you know? And I said this type of behavior only happens before a major shift, which, you know, it's definitely true. I can go back over all my years, you know, and kind of show that when I felt this way, when the market felt this way, it was before something big shifted, right? And then basically I said for the last 4 years, we've had nothing towards hostility towards the industry. Now we have the SEC dropping cases left and right, creating regulation, creating a national reserve of digital assets, which now is a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And then I said, if you told me that in 2018, I would have called them crazy. You know, this environment fundamentally is the most bullish we can ask for. And I said, I still can see the charts go either way, which I presented both those scenarios. But I said, if this was a macro top before much lower, they completely fooled us. You know, absolutely fooled us. So I just wanted to bring that up here, guys, because even myself, I'm like, wow, Everyone's bearish. Everyone's throwing in the towel. Everyone's full of fear. You know, it would be a shame if we just melted up. It seems like more people would be hurt if we melted up than melted down. That's what I find to be funny. Everybody's shorting. Everybody seems like they're just sidelined. They're selling off. You know, it's over, this and that. And like, look at, you know, take a step back. Like, can this get more bullish? It can't. Charts aside, this environment cannot get more bullish, in my opinion. So yeah, I just wanted to show that here real quick. You look at VIX much, it's getting pretty high again. No, I do, Mike, but actually a high VIX is a bullish thing. Sorry, should I say, you know, the VIX topping out is a bullish thing. Historically speaking, that's been a very bullish thing for crypto and Bitcoin. How did you learn all your TA skills? Well, back in 2017, I had a kind of a mentor, and he taught me the basics of TA. And since then, I've just grown on everything myself and just continued to evolve. All self-taught, mainly after that. Appreciate the knowledge. Thanks, Tamed. Great job. Thanks for sharing everything. Thanks, guys. And see you on X. Got to go get some stuff done. Thanks, Dan. How to set up the order book view? You just add the indicator order book skew. Based on the XRP SOL and XRP ETH charts, would you look for to swap into XRP from the respective coins? Good question. Very good question. So what I would look for is a clear break of structure, which we have not seen that yet. So I'm sure you guys can see, you know, we could draw pretty clear trends here. You know, draw this trend. It was already been broken, which is fine. More so, I'd be looking at this trend. You know, this is the clean trend. If XRP Ethereum breaks this, might be a time to TP or shift them into Ethereum, as crazy as that sounds. Same thing with XRP SOL. We could draw a simple trend like that. I think I give this a lot more room to run. This can do this and be fine. So that this breaks this, you know, probably SOL's going to outperform XRP. Really why I love doing these charts. Super, super useful. You think XRP can hit a $3 mark or break into 4 in the next 5 months? I think so, Paul. Yeah, I do. We need Bitcoin back 100K though. We need Bitcoin back 100K or some crazy thing to happen that just has to do with XRP, or the lawsuit to be, you know, completely over and they come out and announce all these partnerships. This is probably just hopium, but I'm just giving you an example of how that would happen without Bitcoin. Fear and greed is so crazy across all markets. It is. This market is chopping people up left and right. It's crazy. What settings do you use in your order book skew? Good question there, Sky. So essentially, if you guys look at the skews, you know, this is why I made this skew. It's really cool. I created 3 skews here. So this first skew is going to look within 3% of price. Second skew is going to look within 5%, and you could change these. And then this one is standard to 10%. So if I change this to 10% here, 1 second. I change this to 10% here. I made them different thicknesses. So you guys can see that the thickest one's the 3%, the thicker one is the 7%, and the thinnest one is the 10%. So it's really simple. If you're doing short-term trading, you want to be looking at a small skew, probably the 3 to 5%. If you're doing swing trading, you want to be looking at like a 5 to 15% skew. And then if you're doing long-term analysis, like I just kind of was, I like to look at the 50% skew. You know, that's what helped me predict Bitcoin falling from 95K to 77. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. It's really, the shorter the time frame, the shorter the percent skew you want to be monitoring. The higher the time frame, the higher percent skew you want to be monitoring. One market cap's alt season indicators, 14 out of 100. Yeah, definitely is. Fugazi says, oh, I meant out of SOL and ETH and XRP. Well, I think your time to do that was 3 months ago, guys. You know, I don't know if rotating from SOL to ETH. I mean, it could be, but I mean, the trends have been straight up for 3 months. Thoughts on Blunts pointing out bearish divergence on weekly XRP? I'm not sure who Blunts is, but you know, the divergences are subjective. You know, they're very subjective, and we could absolutely print a bearish divergence, and you know, it could already have been played out, which technically speaking, you can consider this the play out of that bearish divergence. You know, am I going to say it's not going to go lower? Who knows? It might, and we could say, oh, it was the bearish divergence. But technically speaking here, guys, like you could consider this the bearish divergence playing out. You know, that bearish divergence already played out. That doesn't mean we're not going to go lower, but all I'm saying is this signal right here already played out. This was it playing out. I mean, XRP dropped 50%. You know, and on to that point, you know, I don't look at RSIs a lot, but you just made me kind of bring this up. I mean, look at the 2-day the 2-day oscillators. I mean, it's not a bearish view at all. I mean, you got a falling wedge here on the RSI. You got a falling wedge here on the RSI, technically speaking. You have the stochastic doing a double tap, now breaking its 50% line. You have the logarithmic MACD doing a double tap of the histogram, now coming back down to the 0 line, looking for a bullish test. I mean, to me, it looks like what XRP has been doing the last 2 months has been resetting its oscillators. These all got reset. Also, actually an interesting view. I don't use these too much anymore. Used to be my bread and butter, but I don't use them too much anymore. This has been a good bottom indicator. I can see it topping with Trump tariffs. I agree. I definitely agree there. And I guess the last thing here on XRP, guys, is you guys remember the election VWAP, right? You guys remember the magic line. You know, the absolute magic line. Orange line, complete magic line. Even retested it as resistance, right? That's where we're at on XRP right now, as for support. Election VWAP. That's why anything under that 220, not a good look. Definitely not a good look here. That's why for now, I'm keeping my eyes on the XRP US oil chart. It's such a beautiful chart. And you know, if you guys are analysts watching this, you guys probably agree. This is like, it's like an aesthetically pleasing chart. So I'm excited to continue to watch this one for a full break of confirmation. This is too sporadic for a specific level. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. You look at confluence with XRP, say overtaking ETH and market cap could be a sell signal. It could be. Absolutely. Absolutely. Could without a doubt be. Yeah, without a doubt. And speaking of that, before I wrap up here, guys, let's just do a little something here. See our progress here on Ethereum dominance versus XRP dominance. Because as far as I know, it looks like they've actually been moving together. Moving closer since I last looked. Yeah, kind of. Look at that, guys. So this is when Ethereum got flipped by XRP. Look at this. November 2018. It lasted 47 days. XRP was actually higher than Ethereum. Same thing happened at the 2017, or January 2018 top. And then look now. Looks like they're heading straight towards each other. I love looking at this chart. Look at that. We have about 4% of the market that needs to give for this to happen. So if Ethereum gives up 2%, XRP gains 2%, it does it. Ethereum loses 4%, XRP stays steady, it does it. XRP gains 4%, and Ethereum loses 4%, does it. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. All right, guys, throw in your last few questions, and then we'll wrap it up here. I think it was a pretty good stream. You know, shared a lot of different thoughts on a lot of things, and pretty straightforward way to approach what's happening here. Mike says, thoughts on XRP not being part of the reserve now? Could all this pump been kind of speculation from that? You know, I don't believe so, Mike. And it's not good, of course. You know, I wouldn't consider it good. It's like, you know, if XRP was in that reserve, it'd probably be better. You know, I don't think we could deny that one. Oh, what happened here? On my Hakanashi candles. But, you know, the reason why I don't think so, Mike, is because, look. That's why I don't think so, Mike. Is because this right here, you know, look at how well XRP has been performing, technically speaking, compared to other coins before the reserve. You know, it's held its December lows. You can't find many coins that have held their December lows. So this was the XRP reserve announcement. It lost it all right away. This was the announcement XRP was not involved. This was the second announcement. XRP is still at 251. The market knows it's not in the reserve. And if XRP was doing this right now, then yeah, we would be like, okay, there's a lot of positioning built up in anticipation of it being in a reserve. But that's past us now. So, I think it's back to normal business here. I think before this reserve even happened, XRP was still primed, as an outperformer, which I'm sure you guys have seen my other post there. My other post, we could get rid of some of these here. My other post was XRP's outperformance against the rest of the market has been absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Not even sure where I had that here, but essentially it continues to outperform, and until that stops, I have to stay bullish on it. XRP versus total. XRP versus ETH. XRP versus Sol. XRP versus Doge. XRP versus AVAX. Versus Link. Versus XLM. Versus Sui. Versus Uni. Until that stops, I'm not going to change my optimistic view, should I say. What is the lowest do you think XRP can go in price? I mean, it's, if Bitcoin breaks 75K, it's going to 150. It's going to 150. What low cap alt are you most bullish on? I don't look at low caps. I do not look at low caps. I only focus on the top 100. That's just me. Screenshot that chart, beautiful. Yeah. Current 4-hour candle looking good. It is. It's not looking bad. Not looking bad. Looking promising. We'll see if there's follow through. Still need to get above these VWAP bands. Then need to get above all-time high VWAP in 270. Then we're looking good. Right now we're still mid-range. NASDAQ just turned green. Ooh, let's see what happened there. Oh wow. If that yearly rolling VWAP was the bottom, I'm just going to do more victory laps about my VWAP suite, guys. I'll just do more victory laps. Add it if you have not. It's super useful, guys. I had a few people using it. It's super useful thing. Multiple VWAP suite. Got about 230 likes on it already. Pretty good. So yeah. Do you think we get any good news? I mean, I think we could get some good news, but I don't think the market cares anymore. The only good news is if Trump signs an executive order directing the Treasury and the IRS to reclassify US-based cryptos and to give them special tax treatment. I don't know his executive power to do something like that, but he could highly pressure the IRS to change its approach on taxing crypto, and then potentially get into a Congress bill later in the year. So that'd be the only thing that would pump this market, in my opinion. Only thing. Only thing. How to set up the weekly VWAP suite properly in TradingView? Check out my first video on YouTube. First video on YouTube covers that all. Covers that all very well. You've earned the victory laps. We'll appreciate that. Much appreciated there, guys. But yeah, it was a good stream, guys. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something and enjoyed it. Trying to think here if there's any last thoughts. I'll be doing another stream next week, probably on Wednesday. We'll see, probably Wednesday. Yeah, beyond that, let me just go through my head if there's anything else I wanted to cover, and then we'll wrap it up here. I don't believe so. Yep, went over everything I think I wanted to. Ethereum, Bitcoin dominance, Coinbase premium, Bitcoin EMA bands, total, the XY, Russell 2000. My view of how we could be seeing a grind up here soon. So yeah, I think that's all here, guys. I do think that we're on the cusp of something big here. And of course, we want to lean bullish. What's the edge in predicting this is going to happen? Unless you got mega shorts. So the last thing I'll say, guys, is so many people are bearish. If they turn out to be right, man, CT is really, you know, they've elevated. They got some edge in this market because everybody is bearish. Nobody is thinking about a melt up scenario, right? Nobody's thinking about it. Like what? Like you know, like what's nobody's thinking about just this. Like how about that? You know, that'd be max pain for the sideliners. See what happens here. But just to reiterate, Bitcoin regains this election VWAP around 93, 95. I'm net long. I am 100% net long. I'd be expecting a nice rally back to highs, at least 105. So, subscribe for more. Thanks. GG, thank you. Thanks, Mike. Wishing you big wins. Thanks, guys. Beely, appreciate you. You don't cover any low caps, do you, Dom? If so, understandable. Comes with a lot of stress. No, I don't. I don't, guys. It's just, you know, I trade Bitcoin. I trade XRP. I trade Sol. I sometimes trade Link and Doge. And then I sometimes trade XLM. That's really all I'm looking at because to me, low caps aren't going to give you a consistent career trading income. I don't think so. I mean, maybe some people, look, I'd rather be trading highly liquid instruments, trading edges on those, and having opportunities to trade nonstop. You know, that's really why I like to focus on what I do. And it's not wrong, but you guys got to realize there's so much in crypto now. I can't focus on what I do, share the analysis I do, and be keeping eyes on hundreds of low caps. It just doesn't work. You know, there's too many eggs. I can't have that many eggs in my basket. I can't spread my attention that thin. It's just not possible. I already feel overloaded, and I look for extra time to work on more scripts, create more indicators, you know, do more work with AI. So low caps just aren't on my menu for now. Happy Friday, thanks. Love the stream, been following for the last few months. Thanks, John. It looks like you got 80 likes. Yeah, appreciate that, guys. Looks like you guys came through on the likes there. And then obviously hit subscribe if you're not. XRP testing 252. Awesome. Aside from trading, do you game at all? No, I do not. Not a gamer. No gamer for me. I know it's, you know, there's a lot of traders that are gamers, but no, I personally do not game. I'm going to be gaming. I'm just going to probably just be looking for more strategies or creating more indicators or doing more analysis. What's your personal timetable for all-time highs? It could happen in the next month and a half. You know, if market starts grinding up now, it could happen by April. Litecoin update? Yeah, okay, fine. I'll do Litecoin update and then we'll wrap this up here, guys. So Litecoin, you know, it was looking really good, and unfortunately, you know, got shot back down, but I still think Litecoin looks good. You know, it didn't break anything. As I've said, oh, look, we perfectly hit the level that I've been watching here. And I said, you know, we need to break 140 for it to really trigger, and obviously it didn't do that. So to me, this looks like a really good range play on Litecoin back up to here. Now that I'm looking at this, I might look for entries here. Because if not, you know, you're betting on a range breakdown, which if you're playing a range, looks like a very good range play to me. A mean reversion, at least back to like 115, 117. There goes Mike saying exactly what I said there. Yep, perfectly in line there, Mike. Bottom of huge range. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You technically will probably want to be positioned here because you're playing a mean reversion range. If not, you know, trade goes against you. That's what happens when you play ranges. Thanks for your analysis, Dom. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all you do. Thanks, HJ. You think Sui is too volatile to trade with leverage? No, Sui's another good one. You know, it's a large cap. But yeah, appreciate it, guys. Much appreciated here. I'll see you guys on X, see you guys on Twitter, see you guys in my Telegram. If you guys have not joined my Telegram, it's the second link in this video description. And yeah, just like, subscribe, and, you know, hopefully we got some fun things to talk about next week and this weekend. But otherwise, thanks again, guys. Thanks, Hunter. Kenneth. You guys all have a great weekend. Bye-bye. See you guys.